All right, everyone. There's a video going around on X where Trump is talking about putting an end to the war with Zelenskyy and Putin. So let's hear what he has to say.
We've never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden.
Now, I think these videos that have been going around with him in this spot right here are about maybe a year old, actually. But they're all resurfacing, and they've been popping up left and right, and they're still very relevant. I mean,
global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon.
Yeah, it'd be like the Terminator.
Important than avoiding that,
you know, the first two, the good ones.
Nightmare.
But it would be bad.
We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to
clean the swamp, clean it all out, fire them all, and then hire a bunch of new people.
Staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves.
Now, I was about to say, I think he's absolutely 100% right about that. You know, you talk about Russia, you talk about China. I mean, they're definitely threats, but I mean, we're the big dogs. And the greatest threat that we have are idiots running this country and people who just absolutely don't care about it. And good Lord, like all these deep staters and stuff, like you said, you know, these people behind the scenes. Basically, from what Elon Musk said a while back, it sounds like, I don't know, 50 or 60 big head honcho millionaires or so that are really just pulling everyone's strings and have all these investments, which makes sense because it's always all about money.
Some of the horrible USA-hating people
that
represent us.
I can't stand that mentality, too. It's like you got some schmuck on the street who just hates the United States or whatever. It's like, whatever. But you got these people in power, in government positions, working in governments as our representatives, and they hate the country. It's like, man, you don't represent us. What are you talking about?
Abolition of our national borders. It's the failure to police our own cities. It's the destruction of the rule of law from within. It's the collapse of the nuclear family and fertility rates like nobody can believe.
That last one, the nuclear family part, that's a big one. That's a pretty big deal.
It's happening. It's the Marxists who would have us become a godless nation worshiping at the altar of race and gender and environment. And it's the globalist class that has made us totally dependent on China and other foreign countries that basically hate us. These globalists want to
not the Chinese people, of course. Just their government.
All of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas while keeping us distracted from the havoc they're creating right here at home. These forces are doing more damage to America than Russia and China could ever have dreamed. Evicting the sick and corrupt establishment is the monumental task for the next president. And I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done. I know exactly
Yeah.
what has to be done.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's right. I do think this is like maybe a year old or so, even though they're all resurfacing a lot. Yeah, man, it's crazy though. I just can't stand that attitude that some people. You got these people, man, who just like they're these champagne socialists, and you see them on YouTube too, and on all of these streaming platforms. You know, they just talk about Marxism and socialism, and you know they just can't stand this country. They hate it. They're always dogpiling on it. It's always like race, 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 sex, gender, gender, gender. You know, the country's racist, yada yada, and while simultaneously benefiting in every single way from our land and from our country and the blessings of just even living here. I mean, I know it's not perfect. I know it's not a perfect country, but goddamn. Um, but yeah, man, we got to get this war done. Like that's probably the biggest thing. Like let's stop it so that we don't explode. You know, so that we don't blow up and destroy the world. Trump has mentioned before in the past, he's like, people talk about global warming, but he's more concerned about like global nuclear warming. And he's right. It's like, people are terrified that the sea's going to rise a couple of inches in like 100 years. Well, the sea's not going to be there if we blow each other up. You know what I mean? So let's sort out the war. Let's make peace again in the Middle East and over there and all that stuff. And in Ukraine and Russia. And then we could save some gay little turtle who gets his head caught in the plastic thingamajiggy of the Cokes things. Save the animals, save the rainforest, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, man, I think he's the only one that's going to be able to get this done. Ugh. January can't come soon enough. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when my new videos drop. It's all free. All you got to do is make a YouTube account, which is also free, and it really helps out the channel. Thank you so much. Have a great freaking day.